In today's video, we'll look into the life of the Simpson family member with the most shocking ending.
Meet Maggie Simpson, IQ 167.
From toting a firearm to strutting on the world stage, her life story is a roller coaster of epic proportions. Especially if you consider the fact that she's been a baby for 3 decades. So, sit tight and join us as we unravel the astonishing saga of Springfield's little prodigy, the one and only Maggie Simpson. The situation surrounding Maggie's birth was, let's just say, unexpected.
You might take it that this is an unwanted pregnancy.
Homer had quit his job and literally burnt the bridges between him and his employer Burns, all because he was finally able to pay off his debts. After that, he chased his dream job of being a bowling alley's pin monkey, eventually working at Barney's Bowl-O-Rama. It was during the time that he was living off the measly salary of a pin monkey that Maggie got pregnant. I mean, Marge. Marge got pregnant. Marge, not Maggie. That'd be weird. Anyways, the unexpected arrival of Maggie sent Homer's pins scattering like a wild strike, and suddenly he found himself juggling the thought of another mouth to feed on his bowling alley salary. In a desperate bid to make ends meet, Homer reluctantly crawled back to Old Man Burns, hat in hand, begging for his job back, and he was given. Now, Homer's excitement for a third child would be extinct if not for the magic of fatherhood. You see, the moment he laid eyes on little Maggie, his heartstrings were strummed, and he fell in love with this tiny bundle of joy. At the birth of Maggie, Homer took all pictures of Maggie from the family photo book and proudly plastered them all over his workstation. Eventually, the unexpected birth of Maggie turned out to be the major source of encouragement for Homer to keep working for Mr. Burns. With her birth, her adventures began, and so did her clingy relationship with her famous red pacifier. At age 1, Maggie goes through so many adventures. However, if you choose any episode of The Simpsons at random to watch, there's a low chance that you will choose one that Maggie has an adventure in, and there is an even lower chance that you will see one where she talks. Matter of fact, she only talks in 22 out of 750 episodes, 24 if you count the Simpsons movie and the first Simpsons short. But for the sake of this video, we're just gonna highlight the most noteworthy instances and adventures of Maggie that show character development and establish the kind of baby she really is. From that time she almost became a Flanders, to the time she led a rebellion of babies, dare we mention the time she shot Mr. Burns. It was that time Mr. Burns crossed a line by revealing a plan to block the sun's light with a massive disc to make the entire town dependent on his electricity. Shortly after his plan was revealed, he got shot, but not a single soul in Springfield knew who done it. In fact, they were all suspects. In the end, the surprising culprit was none other than Maggie Simpson. And it wasn't the only time she stood up to Burns. She even had once foiled the villainous Burns in a dispute over his cherished childhood teddy bear, Bobo. You see, Bobo somehow found its way into the possession of the Simpsons, so Mr. Burns desperately tried everything he could to retrieve it, but Maggie had grown fond of Bobo and refused to let go of it. Without uttering a word, she foiled all his plans to get the toy back, even leaving him defeated and panting. But eventually, Maggie takes pity on him and willingly returns the beloved teddy bear, showing that beneath her devious side, there is a side of her that cares even for someone as villainous as Burns. Her altercations with Burns show that Maggie is not the kind of baby you'd want to mess with or get into a brain contest with. In one of her acts of rebellion, Maggie has also liberated a multitude of babies from the strict owner of a daycare who confiscated the kids' pacifiers. It seems she took that one personally. Not to mention that time she heroically threatened Mr. Teeny with a broken bottle. Still being heroic, she saved her father on multiple occasions, such as rescuing him from drowning and catching a flying bottle that was about to hit him in the head. Still at the age of 1, Maggie has single-handedly taken down Fat Tony and his gangsters without breaking a sweat to save Homer, and in a romantic turn of events, she has even found love. In the dialogue-free Simpsons short film, Playdate with Destiny, Maggie met a literal baby boy named Hudson at the park, and a cute baby connection was sparked. Her many adventures at age 1 just makes her growth to the age of 9 very worth it. Because at age 9, Maggie seems to have found love in the most unlikely place, and also found a way to chill in Alaska. In the episode Future Drama, Maggie is seen living the life she wants to live in a postcard that is alive, waving from a beach in Alaska next to a polar bear dying from the effects of global warming. This happened in a version of the future, so we can't exactly consider it a canon event. The future we can consider is the one where Maggie kisses her arch nemesis. In Barthood, an older Lisa and Bart engage in a heated argument during Milhouse's graduation party. Surprisingly, at the event, Maggie is seen kissing Gerald Sampson, her arch nemesis who will always be identified by his creepy unibrow. It seems 9-year-old Maggie finally had a change of heart because they have been sworn enemies for years. Their rivalry dates back to a series of Simpsons Mania trading cards published in December 2001, where it's revealed that both Maggie and Gerald were born on the same day. Due to a shortage of diapers at the underfunded Springfield General Hospital, Maggie got the last one, leaving Gerald wrapped in a piece of newspaper, resulting in a persistent rash. Since then, Gerald blamed Maggie for his discomfort and spent his nap time plotting revenge. But 9 years later, they apparently have a change of heart. I guess you could say they were a match made in the hospital room. At age 16, Maggie is no longer sucking on her pacifier, instead she now rocks it as a cool necklace. During dinner, Lisa invites Maggie to her dress rehearsal, but Marge cuts her off before she can respond. At the wedding, the townsfolk praise Maggie's beautiful singing voice, but before we can hear her sing Amazing Grace. What's fascinating about Maggie's story is how her future musical career is subtly hinted at in these future-themed episodes. Her bedroom boasts a world tour poster, and during a polite gesture, Maggie stands out by flashing a rock and roll sign showcasing her rebellious spirit. This trait of breaking away from the norm will only grow stronger as she continues to forge her own path away from the family. At the age of 31, Maggie has become a worldwide musical sensation, an ironic twist as she barely spoke throughout the show. While staying in England at the Benny Hilton, we discover she's pregnant and about to give birth. Returning to Springfield, she experiences contractions, and her sibling Bart takes her to the hospital. Dr. Hibbert, who delivered Maggie herself, delivers her baby. The father remains a mystery, but she spends Christmas with the Simpsons. A potential clue lies in a later date with Gerald at a restaurant, but who knows? Nevertheless, that unibrow sure seems strong. Before we get into the last part of Maggie's story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share without remorse. Let's resume. In the episode Flanders Ladder, Bart wakes up from his coma after being struck by lightning, and he envisions how everyone dies in Springfield, but there's an exception for Maggie. Surprisingly, Maggie is immortal and never dies. She somehow unlocks the secret to eternal life and becomes one with the universe. The reason behind her immortality remains a mystery. Did her violent rage somehow thwart death, or did the alien Kang and Kodos bestow her with an immortal alien jab? There couldn't be a more perfect ending for Maggie, unless you count the one that happened in Lisa's dream. In this dream, Lisa sends Maggie tumbling down the stairs from a wheelchair. That's a sad ending. Thank goodness we don't do that over here. Or do we? That was it for the Life of Maggie. On your screen is another video where we documented the life of another favorite Simpsons character. What are you waiting for? Click it!